didn't have an answer for Kansas City's rushing attack. Rookie Clyde Edwards-Helaire had career highs with 26 carries and 161 rush yards. And the Chiefs' offense managed to play keep away from the Bills, who only had the ball for 6 minutes in the second half. So, Shannon, how impressive were Mahomes and your Chiefs?
They put on a clinic. It was hilarious. It's taking the Ro Jones approach, Skip. Oh, y'all gonna sign Leonard Fournette? He ain't gonna get no carries. Y'all sign Le'Veon Bell? He ain't gonna get no carries.
That's true.
I'm gonna make sure y'all remember that you took me in the first round and I can run the football. They ran the football with conviction. 37 minutes time of possession. That's what they own. And as Jenny mentioned in the read, is that Pat Mahomes was Patrick. Mom doesn't want you to call him Pat. My homeboy was 21 of 26, 225, and 2 touchdowns. Well, he didn't have to do a whole lot as far as throwing the football because they were running the football so effectively. But on third down, Skip, they were 9 of 14 on third down, 1 for 1 on fourth down. And you see what Mahomes can do with his legs, Skip. There were some plays that, you know, they're only up 6. And Buffalo had gotten momentum. If he doesn't scramble out of the pocket and completes this pass to Pringle, who knows what would have happened? Well, we'll never know. And there's one they had him pinned on the sideline, Skip. He's about to throw it. He realized he's past the line of scrimmage. He backs up, looked like he's about to throw it again, and then did it. I like, where you get that from? It's over, Skip. It's over.
Really?
Yeah. We ain't never seen anybody do. We've never seen anybody in a complete package like this. Maybe guys can throw the ball, but could do all of this? You think Tom Brady could have did that? No.
Absolutely. Tom Brady owned Buffalo at Buffalo. Yeah. You want to go back and see how many times he beat Buffalo at Buffalo?
Yeah. I'm talking about the plays that Mahomes was making with his legs. You think Brady could have done that?
No.
Okay. But I don't know, Skip, if you're going to let Patrick Mahomes have the ball for 37 minutes and you're going to let them run for 200 yards, Buffalo better be glad the conditions will work like they work. Can you imagine on a dry day and they give up 37 minutes time of possession? Pat Mahomes might have threw for 300 plus, 400 yards, and they'd still add 200 yards rushing. They put on a clinic. Look, let's not discount Buffalo just yet. People make it seem like, oh, Buffalo, they dropped off a cliff. They lost to a team that hadn't lost a game yet, and they lost to a team that's only lost 1 game. So let's just hold up before we bury Buffalo. I still think they're good. But the MVP talk with Josh Allen, he's still up and coming. I like what he's doing. But Buffalo is not dead just yet, especially in that division. They lost to a very good team. The Titans might be the first or the second best team in the AFC, Skip. There is no slouch in losing to them. And it's definitely not a slouch in losing to a guy that's won the MVP and the Super Bowl, and they just won the Super Bowl last year. Yep. But this was textbook. Andy couldn't ask for a better game. I'm surprised Andy ran the ball. This is not Andy's MO, Skip, run the ball 46 times.
The most he's ever run it in his career. Okay? I'm going to remind you, that team you're raving about just a week ago lost at home to the Las Vegas Raiders and looked bad in doing so.
Raiders going to beat your Bucks on Monday night.
I thought, you think so?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
we already got the case of doing on it.
We do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good. Thank you.
As the week goes on, it might progress upwards.
Really? Okay. Thank you for that. I appreciate that very much. This was more to me about Buffalo than it was about Kansas City. And I told you before the year that Buffalo was my dark horse AFC Super Bowl contender. And they got off to a hot 4-0 start. And Josh Allen continued his hot streak, which began somewhere around Thanksgiving last year when he took apart my Cowboys on the Thanksgiving Day stage at Jerry World.
Right.
He did a number on them with his arm and his legs because he's about 6'5", 240, and he can move.
Yeah. He's stronger than you think. He ran through some tackles yesterday.
He did. And he's obviously got a strong arm. Troy Aikman was saying on the telecast, stronger than my homeboy's arm.
I believe that, too.
On sheer distance.
Yes.
Just if you rear back and throw it as far as you can, that he would be able to throw it slightly farther than my homeboy.
I believe that.
Okay, but that's not how you win football games.
No.
It requires accuracy. It requires some percentage of completion. And for the first 4 games, Josh Allen was by his standards, on fire at 71%. In the last two, he's fallen off to 59%. Maybe he's reverting to the mean or the norm. Maybe that's who he really is.
Right.
Troy was critical of him on the broadcast, and Terry Bradshaw at halftime was really critical of him. They just say that's who he is. In the end, he's not an accurate thrower.
Right. It's kind of hard to be accurate skill when you have that big of an arm. There have been very few guys that have that kind of arm strength.
I would agree.
Because it requires touch.
Yeah.
Because he has who does he have? With a Cole Beasley. Has Cole Beasley coming on a shallow cross. All it requires is a little touch. And you got to first, he's going to turn and
he just missed him.
throws.
I agree. Two best quarterbacks ever, Brady, Montana. Just slightly above average velocity, but deadly accurate.
Correct.
And it's eminently catchable.
Right.
It's sweetly catchable. It just begs you to catch it. Okay, so who's the real Josh Allen? Well, they went to Tennessee, and they were riding high, and they thought they had Tennessee right where they wanted the Titans because they had not been able to practice for 2 weeks.
Right.
And all the money was coming in heavy on Buffalo, and they go out, and they hung in for a little while, and then the sky fell on them.
Yes.
And they lost 42-16, and I don't think they quite got over it going into last night's game, even though it was at home. Because Josh Allen, I know the weather was inclement. It was chilly and rainy and drizzly, and the football stayed wet.
But it should be Skip. That's why they took him. He's a big kid that has a big arm that can throw in those elements. He played in Wyoming. I don't know if anybody's ever been to Wyoming, but the conditions get pretty harsh in Wyoming.
They do. And yet, he got off to a horrendous start.
Yes.
And he kept Kansas City afloat because Kansas City wasn't doing much either.
No.
And maybe it was just the weather on both sides, but he finally, Josh Allen, heated up a little bit in the second half, and it actually came down to one Edwards-Hilaire fumble that wasn't a fumble. For a second, I thought he got stripped, but he is built so low to the ground that his knee definitely touched before the ball got stripped.
Correct.
If the ball had been successfully stripped, we might be having a different conversation because they had a short field down 23-16, so it could have gone the other way.
Correct.
But it didn't. I think Buffalo is really missing Matt Milano because he destroyed my Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day. He is their best linebacker. He's the unsung MVP of their defense. He's their run stopper. And they needed him last night to pick and plug the correct hole every time because there were too many gaping holes for the Kansas City running backs. Now I'm to your man, my homeboy. He ran at the Combine a 4.840, which is not bad, not bad. But it looks to me like he's put on since Texas Tech days, I don't know, 15, maybe even 20 pounds. And I'm not criticizing him because I think you need that weight to take the beating that is the NFL beating. I got you. He doesn't look very fast, but nobody plays him to be fast, so nobody's going to spy him.
No.
Nobody's going to loop their ends just to make sure they keep him in the pocket. You just want to get to him and get at him any way possible. Well, I don't know how many times this year I have thought, I think they got him. And then all of a sudden they leave a gaping lane open, and he just takes one look and says, thank you, I got this. And he looks like he's lumbering, but he's very athletic, obviously.
I don't know if he's gained that much weight. I just think the way he's built, most of his weight is distributed from waist down.
Heavy-legged.
So that's the thing. And he looked like he has small... He's not as tall as Peyton Manning, but if you look at, you remember Peyton had really narrow shoulders. And his but this kid is like solid from the waist down with narrow shoulders. So he looks heavier than probably he actually is. But I think he's probably, I would say 240, Skip.
Okay, 240. Okay, he is very athletic because remember he came up as a shortstop and a pitcher, but he played shortstop, and you got to be athletic to play shortstop. His father was athletic. I'll bet his mother was athletic.
Probably so.
So once he gets it in gear, I'm like, he's moving okay. That one run that he made in the playoff game, I didn't think he was moving very well. I thought the Titans just played flag football and decided not to tackle him.
They didn't realize how fast he was until he like,
Oh, he was
we
blazing.
ain't gaining on him.
Yeah, it's like you slow the thing down to watch it in slow motion, and that's actually real time, real speed.
But the thing is, Skip, when he breaks through, he's actually looking to throw the ball. He's actually trying to buy time. You know, he'll look back and check. Like,
he is such a threat to throw on the run that defenses are like, and the next thing you know, he's just tippy-toeing right past the sticks, and it's a first down.
Exactly.
Now to the play in question. This was 2 minutes. You brought it up. 2 minutes left.